Yo, man with a beard here. So you know when you're a Mauritian when? So as some of you may know, I'm Mauritian. Really? And with Mauritians, you have some serious identity issues. Because you get like an immigration form and on there, it asks you, what are you? So you got whites, you got blacks, you got Asian, Chinese, and any other. And most Mauritians tick any other. Why? Because we don't know, because even though I look like I'm Asian, I'm not sure whether I'm black or whether I'm Asian, because there's a lot of Indian culture in Mauritians, but there's also a lot of African culture in Mauritians. So every Mauritian has this crisis. When the forms arrive, this is basically what goes down. Hey, yo, Dad, come check this out. I've got this form today. I've got to fill it in. What am I? On my ethnic background, what should I put myself down as? Well, Beta, what you need to do, you need to put yourself down as a Mauritian, because you're not Indian, you're not African, you're Mauritian. Oh, but there's no Mauritian tick on the actual form. It just says other. That's right, put yourself any other, write down the specifics. Mauritian, just write Mauritian next to it. It's fine. That's what they have to accept. Okay then, Dad, and that's basically how it goes down. A lot of British Mauritians especially haven't got a clue how to even speak one word of the Creole language. But every single one of them, every single Mauritian, knows every single swear word in Creole. But they don't know how to speak fluently to anyone. Your auntie comes and sees you, she speaks to you, she just come from Mauritius, she doesn't know how to speak English or anything, and she's talking to you, and you can't say one word back except, you know, bata, or, you know, or mako or something. That's all you can say. You can only say words like that. You can't say anything else. You know, you can't say hello because you don't know how to say it. All you know is how to say every other swear word because that's all your uncles ever taught you. Trendy Mauritian thing to do is to have a stash in your house of Mauritian t-shirts. They don't wear, they just keep it. People have given it to you over the years and you just kept them. You haven't got rid of them, you haven't thrown them away. You're like, oh no, you know, my auntie gave me that t-shirt, I can't throw that out. Throw it away, man. If you're not going to use it, throw it in the bin. Me, I wear all mine. I mean, I've got a whole, I think my airing cupboard is full for about that much of beach towels from Mauritius. Every Mauritian's got a kahom board stashed in the corner of their house. You play it when you're in Mauritius. You never play it when you come back here. But when you leave there, you're like, oh, kahom is so good. It's such an excellent sport. We need to play that in England. And when you come here, you buy, you go hunting for one. Some people even carry it from Mauritius on their backs to England. And then what ends up happening? It stays in the corner because most of your friends, most of the people that you know aren't Mauritian. Because we're like a rarity. The island, you can't even see it on a map. So people keep bringing the kahon board back here to play on, and no one knows how to play it. And when they bring it back, you rarely meet people who are Mauritian to play it with, and it ends up in the loft, or it ends up in a corner of a room, or in your garage. And I bet you've got one. All of you have got one. Got a Mauritian out there watching this video. I don't get it. Why is it every time we venture to Mauritius, you always hear of, you know, the champion kahon player? You know, who the hell? How do you even have a competition like that? It's not even an Olympic like game or something. It's just like a local little community, and they say, yeah, you know your uncle, he's a kahon champion. You know, kahon. He can champion the kahon. You got back to you or kahon. Where does that come from? Where do we get the kahon champion? And then the uncle will be a kahon champion, and then you got your cousin who's some badminton champion. You know, he's like, yeah, I won the medals in my school when I was going to school. I won the medals then. You know, I got like a room full of medals of badminton. What is these sport? How do we even know about these kind of sports? Badminton in Mauritius, of all the places you find someone who's a apparent champion, your cousin, but he's a badminton champion. And obviously every Mauritian, you all have it, Sega music, stashed on your computer somewhere. And everyone's like, no, you know, we're good people, we don't do listen to that stuff. You know, because Mauritians are full of different types of Mauritian as well. You've got the religious Mauritian, you've got the non-religious Mauritian, you've got the light Mauritian, the heavy Mauritian, all different types. And everyone's like, no, we don't have that stuff. But you do. You know you have it. You've hidden it on your computer, and you secretly, especially the parents, they secretly know how to dance Sega. Especially if they've got those hench, village-type hands from back in the day, they're 100%. Know how to dance Sega, and you always catch them out. They always like, you know, if you walk on in on them, you see them. They're just like shaking their ass a little bit. You know, you see them and they're doing that. What is this move? What is this? What is this movement to do? I don't get it. I don't understand. What is it with someone says to you, where are you from? I'm from Mauritius. What are you doing over here, mate? Why are you not back there? It's a paradise. Yeah, I know. My parents brought me over here when I was a little kid, and you know, I've lived and grown here all my life. Yeah, you don't sound like a Mauritian, no. No, it's because I'm not a fresh Mauritian, obviously. And at the same time, all of your cousins in Mauritius, all of them, if they've hit their 20s, all they're thinking about is flocking to England. All of them say, yeah, you know, I'm making plan to come to England to study in a university, some random university no one's ever heard of, that, you know, doesn't even exist. It's someone's garage in the UK, and they're saying, yeah, you know, I've paid like, you know, 50,000 rupees, whatever, you know, that's like £1,000 roughly, give or take a couple of hundred, and then they come here, you meet them, and they're just partying. None of them are studying anything. They're just chilling out, macking, they're just enjoying their time, going here, going there, and they're having more fun than you are. And you're here like sweating buckets, earning your living, and they're just like, I'm on holiday, you know, I've come here to study, I'm studying, every day I study, but all you see in them do is partying, and they're partying more than you. You can always spot the fresh Mauritian, always. I don't know when you're in Mauritius, you can tell who the freshies are and who the coolest thing to look like that over there. But when they come here, they stand out like a sore thumb. And, you know, it's something to do with those jeans that they wear. And, you know, what's really funny as well, this happened to me, I don't know how many times, but you meet someone, like a mate of yours, or someone you haven't met in a long time maybe, you just bump into them, and the conversation goes down a bit like this. They walk up to you and they say, hey, how you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm alright, yeah. Where are you from? I'm from Mauritius. Really? You're from Mauritius? Yeah, I'm from Mauritius, yeah. That sound Mauritian? I'm like, yeah, I know it does sound Mauritian, but I'm from Mauritius. I've got a Mauritian mate. And you're like, oh, is it? And they're like, yeah. Do you think you know him? And for some puzzling reason, you stand there, and then you're like, thinking. You actually start to think for a few seconds, like as if you're supposed to be related to every bloody Mauritian that they must know, that someone must know. You know, you must be related somehow. Thinking for a few minutes, maybe I am related to this person. And then some people, even stupidly enough, ask, what's their surname? Like you'd even know, based on their surname, who the hell that person is. And then they tell you some random surname, and then you're like, oh yeah, I think I know them, yeah. And then that's the end of it. You've just bullshitted your way into saying something which isn't true, and then the person thinks you know someone that you don't even actually know. And then you meet them probably one day, and they're like, yeah, that's the person I was telling you about. And you're like, oh yeah, shit, I don't know who you are. And as soon as that conversation's finished, they immediately change the conversation to, they go, oh, so you're Mauritian? Oh, say something in your language. And I'm like, thinking to myself, even if I say something, like, Tuem Bato, or Tuem Bil Kakafis, they're not going to understand what I said. I mean, every Mauritian that I just said that to is laughing their heads off. But you don't understand what I just said. So then we just cut the conversation, and that's the end of it. It's finished. And we just, like, change the subject, like, talk about why you going bald. And why is it every wedding you go to, the guy who prepared the biryani for the wedding, his name was Chibai. Why do they call him Chibai? Everyone who makes biryani in Mauritius, he's called Chibai. Even in England, actually. You ask them, oh, who made this biryani? Like, if he's Mauritian who made the biryani. Oh, wait, Chibai in Fesa. Who the hell is... Why are they all called Chibai? What, are they like manufactured to make biryani or something? And they happen to be called Chibai. You never hear, like, someone say, oh, you know, his name is Ali or Muhammad or, you know, some... Chibai. Everyone called him Chibai. All the biryani that's cooked in British weddings that you go to were overcooked with more elaichi and kanel than rice. Why is everyone so fascinated with biryani? It's like used for every celebration. Like, it's your birthday, biryani. It's your wedding, biryani. It's your akika, biryani. It's your New Year's, biryani. You know, it's Easter, biryani. You know, it's, you know, Valentine's Day, biryani. You know, you've just gone back to Mauritius for a holiday, biryani. First day, biryani. At 12 o'clock in the afternoon, biryani. The only good thing they bring is those little crispy biscuit things that they bring that look, and they call it gâteau zoré or something. You know, in the English translation, that means ear cake, which I don't understand. It doesn't look anything like an ear, but that's what they call it. And things like, obviously, pima confit, you know, these are things that we can't get here, which obviously taste nice when it comes from there. And, you know, even small things like minapolo, you know, people bring you, like like 1 or 2 minapula, and you're like, this stuff doesn't even exist here. We only eat that stuff when we go there. Minapula is like, bring loads of it. Bring like a suitcase full. Like we bring you a suitcase full of rubbish from here that you don't even get there. And obviously they bring the vanilla tea. They bring the zasa, mango zasa from the tree in their back garden. And obviously the most important thing that they bring, which, if they didn't bring it, I think people actually just feel insulted, is half cheddar cheese. How they get that stuff through customs is beyond me. They've got dogs smelling for drugs and stuff, and they still manage to walk in with dairy products. I mean, border customs is rubbish in this country, I'm telling you, because they can walk in with cheese. So you've got Kraft cheddar coming through the airport, and everyone, they've got that remaining amount of cheddar, Kraft cheddar, that never seems to finish. It's in the back of the cupboard, it's in the fridge, and it just stays there. And it like hardens. There's like a thick, hard layer on top of the cheese, and that you're always cutting away and you're eating away and and it just stays there. It never finishes. It completely bizarre. Especially when you go to Mauritius. If you haven't been, obviously this will happen to you. Is somehow everyone is related to you, some way or another, and the only person who knows how this family tree works is your dad. Your dad says, "Yeah, gosse, viens ici, ouais, ça tourne, ça a été, ça tourne, maman, son frère, son papa, son garçon, son monsieur, son mari, son femme, son garçon, son petit, son papa, son garçon." Somehow, that guy is related. I never seen you in my life, bruv. This is the first time I've seen you. I'm 30. And there's never a weekend where some random company just turns up at your yard. And they always turn up at a time which is the most inconvenient time. You're chilling, you're laying on a sofa with your Nikes on, and you're watching something on the TV, and then the doorbell goes. And when that doorbell goes, your mum's alarm bells just go off. It's like she knows, like sixth sense, she knows who's at that door. And straight away, panic goes off in the house where she knows her hospitality is going to be put to the test. How hospitable she is to these random people who have just turned up on some random weekend, who not even called or nothing. And they always turn up at some ridiculous time, like 9 o'clock at night, and then they turn up, they walk in and everything, and then straight away, for some odd reason, they ask for something that you don't have in the house. And then your mum's like, there goes, Allah buchik, I say something. So then straight away she goes, Allah buchik, I say saying coca. And she gives you £1.50 to go get a bottle of Coke from the shops. And you're like, are you being serious? And now I've got to go pick up some Coke because some random people didn't bother even calling. They just turned up at the door and pressed the bell. And that was the end of that. And I don't know what it is. Like, all us youngsters will say to our parents, don't open the door, just pretend we're not in. And they're like, yeah, but the lights are on. Who cares if the lights are on? Just don't answer the door. Your parents are like, no, we have to answer. They know we're here. How do they know you're here? They ain't got X-ray vision. They can't see in the house. But they've got to answer the door. And then the whole shebang starts. She sends you out to get that one bottle of Coke. But like 20 people have turned up at the house. And they walk in and you've got to go for that awkward kissing cheek moment, where... So as they're coming in, like one after another, it's like there's a banana bird that just landed outside your yard, and these people are just offloading into your place. They're just randomly, and I'm like, how do they fit all these people into one little Sierra or into some random Nissan Bluebird? How did they get them in that car? And they always say the same line: we were in the neighborhood, so we didn't want to trouble you, but we just wanted to turn up and see how you're doing. Well, thanks for turning up at 10 o'clock at night. And then it's the normal Mauritian thing, that when you get to the end of meeting these random company who've turned up at your house, it's time for them to leave. And I don't know what it is, the corridor seems to be the best place to have the last conversation. Like they've spent hours talking randomly about the same crap over and over again, just in different format. But then they get to the door and no one seems to know how to get out of that door. The door's open, the house is getting cold, because obviously we live in England, we don't live in Mauritius, and the people are just standing there. We're just talking. We're finishing the conversation at the doorway, the corridor, just standing there talking for 20 minutes. They've even kissed and everything, saying bye, this, that, the other, but they're still talking. And then as soon as they go, what happens? As soon as that door shuts, and you're like, oh my God, straight away, they start talking about the people who were just there. And the best line is, you know what I mean? Straight away. I'm like, why did you... This is why I said you don't let these people in the house. As soon as they go, you're going to start talking about them. Crazy people. And one random thing that always seems to happen as well, I don't know why they do it this way. I mean, you think with technology nowadays, but for some weird reason your parents still buy the cheap-ass call cards and then they wait till like 6 in the morning to use it, and then they ring in someone in Mauritius on these cheap call cards, and they're saying because the line is clear. You know what I mean? What do you mean the line is clear? At 6 in the morning, I don't get it. What, no one else is doing that? Everyone else is thinking the same bloody thing. 6 in the morning, every Mauritian parent is up, 6 in the morning, you know, straight away, on the phone, la line n'est pas clear, and they bring in Mauritius straight away. And then they spend half hour on the phone trying to figure out who the hell they're talking to. They're like, Kisan Lasa. Straight away. I don't get it. And you know, like, your mum has perfected that sound that she makes when she's talking on the phone. She's perfected that sound. Eh. Always followed by the word oi when on the phone to your auntie, who has also perfected the same thing. And all they do is gossip about other families on the phone randomly. And they're going to meet these people, but they just talk about them anyway. But it's just so funny how it's always England that's calling Mauritius, but you never receive a phone call from them from Mauritius, ever. It's like it's like, and when you ask them, they're like, have you been to Mauritius? If you've been to Mauritius, you'd know. I mean, it takes 20 people to get you out the airport, you know, to get you through customs. It takes about 20 people. It's a small island, yet to even get a house built, you know, or even to get your shopping done, or even to get someone to fix your plumbing over there, it takes about 50 people to tighten one nut. So what are they busy about? And obviously, you know, our parents, they're always drinking tea. No matter what time of the day it is, it could be 4 in the morning. They woke up like in the night and straight away tea. And they straight away, they don't want to make the tea. They can't. They go, or your mum will come up to you, straight away. And you've been taught to make that tea since you were like 2-year-old. You know what I mean? So, you know, you've got to boil the milk for the tea. You can't just like make tea like pour milk. You've got to boil the milk first. And then you can make the tea. And not only that, the tea in Mauritius tastes better anyway. It doesn't even taste nice here. But they still try and make you make that tea here. And for all the Muslims who are Mauritian, how good did it feel when you went there and you were able to pick up a Big Mac, you were able to go to KFC, and you were able to eat Pizza Hut? That was like the most amazing time ever, that you were able to actually do that. They actually had the halal version for you to consume over there. And why is it back home, everyone either supports Liverpool or Man United? They've never been to the club. I mean, even I think Mauritians that live here have never been to a football match in their life. But they still support those two teams, Liverpool or Manchester United. And there's valleys on top of your wardrobes in your houses. There's strategic ribbon being tied onto the handles of those valleys in order to make sure that they can only be recognised with those ribbons on those valleys. But when you get to the airport, you've seen like every other Mauritian has done exactly the same thing. But the good thing is, the suitcases are so old that you can spot them from a mile off without the ribbons on them anyway. 1 week before you're about to travel, your whole generation comes up to see you to say, and then when you turn up at the airport with your luggage, weighs a ton anyway, and you know it's overweight, like double, maybe triple overweight. You argue with the check-in people, saying to them their scale's wrong, or this is wrong, or that is wrong, or something's wrong with their stuff. And then your dad's like on a mission. He's like, no, this valise is going through, but nowhere we're leaving this here. And he goes hunting in the airport for some random person who he thinks he knows who's Mauritian to try and somehow magically make this suitcase go on the flight. And on your flight, you're probably one of the only Mauritians on the plane with more hand luggage than everyone combined on the actual aircraft. People are actually watching you put hand luggage in other compartments which you're not sitting near because you've got too much hand. Everyone's got like 2-3 bags on them, and that's because you're taking so much cadeau that people have requested from you when you travel to Mauritius. And then when you come back with so much zasa and biwagonfi, and the oil leaks everywhere. And as soon as you arrive and you get off that plane, you get smacked in the face by that tropical heat of Mauritius, which you can never prepare for. Everyone in the whole of Mauritius has come to greet you at Maibor Airport, and the first thing that your auntie and uncle say to you as soon as they see you, "Ai, que gondel vini aster egos, que here." And I'm like, listen, mate, I'm married. I got 3 kids. What are you talking about class for? And you got to content with all those sloppy kisses that you get from all your aunties and your nannies. You know, they all got those gold moustaches and they're all sweating buckets, kissing your face. And you're just like, oh my God. And you got those mosquitoes sucking the living daylights out of your sweet British blood. And you got those lizards running around all over the walls, black cockroaches and beetles that is enough to send shivers up your spine. And I don't know if it's just me, but do some Mauritian families in Mauritius tile their whole house? Their floors, their ceilings, their walls. It's like a tiled house from top to bottom. And you've been to like Cordon like 50 times. You go see La Terre Cette Couleur, you know? Like 20 times, like it's like the 20 coloured earth spectrum. Which you don't even give a monkey's exist, but you trek around the whole of Mauritius to different families' houses all over the island, and all you really want to do is go to the beach and just have a lazy day and just enjoy the sun, but you can't because you've got to go visit all these relatives you've not seen in decades, and the shocking global power of Coca-Cola and Pepsi is evident everywhere, but how deliciously beautiful is it to drink Esky and Mirinda. And Mauritius family think that you're richer than the Queen because you're in Anglais, you live in Angleterre, and you're normally sitting there slagging Britain off until they turn around to you and start calling you "Eh Anglais Pochis," and then for some weird reason you turn all patriotic and like you're like defensive, and all your Mauritian uncles are always doing business in Singapore or Malaysia, and when you leave Mauritius, the whole of Mauritius takes you back to the airport again about 6 hours before you're going to depart. You do all your checking in and all your luggage goes through and everything like that, because obviously you've not got anything to carry back except Zassar and Pima Confi, and your clothes, you don't even have them anymore because you've given them all away to everybody, because your mum would have come up to you and go, hey, qu'est-ce que ça garçon, don't need to souiller, don't need to jean, don't need to chemise, don't need to t-shirt, don't need to mont, don't need to linear, don't need. So you go back naked. You don't go back with anything. You know, you got to hide like one set of clothes so that you're able to go back to England with something on. Otherwise, you'll be going back in shorts and a Mauritian t-shirt with a beach towel wrapped around you. That's what will end up happening. And even though you're 6 hours early for the plane and you've done all your boarding and your checking in and everything, you still manage to be late, even though you've been dossing around the airport all day long, at the airport for 6 hours before you're about to depart, you still manage to be late for that boarding of the plane. And my God, there's like a million goodbyes to do, some tear shedding. Come on, let's be honest. And the plane you always take from Mauritius always seems to leave at night. I don't understand why. You can't leave in the day. Always it's at night time you're leaving Mauritius. And either you take your flight with Air Mauritius or British Airways, economy obviously. Tickets were from a Mauritian agent in London, either Goldwing or in Bell, so that they're cheaper. Yeah, right. And for some weird reason, your parents always talk about how much Mauritius is developed. But when you're there, you think it's the same bloody place you left when you was there last time. It looks exactly the same. Nothing has changed. But everyone's like, hey, it's community developed, blah, blah. It's the same. It's exactly the same. There's just a few more houses. And when you arrive back to England and you get off the plane and you get into your car, you make a surprising contrast that you make between the two places. How quiet it is in England and how smooth the road is and how there's no bumps, and your English bathroom feels like absolute paradise when you get back home. And you get excited when you see a scene from a Bollywood film that looks like it's been filmed near where your uncle's house is. You get so excited. You know the words of the big Bollywood tunes, yet you have no idea what they mean. Because obviously you're in conflict. And you'll only be found watching Indian films with subtitles. And you can't get enough of good old Mauritian dal puri. And your parents think Demoiselle vapor rub is a cure for all disease and all illnesses. When you see the Air Mauritius advert in the underground and you grin. And you also love eavesdropping on people in public, especially when you can hear them speaking in Creole. You love to hear what they're talking about. I think everyone does. And you've also got the random I got rich quick in the 1970s uncle who has like 10 cars and a 10-bedroom house, and he only turns up at the odd wedding here and there, who you hardly know, and your dad doesn't like him. He's the only person you know deep down your dad hates. And you either live or have family in Croydon, Tooting, Clapham, Walthamstow, Wood Green, Tottenham, Edmonton, Leighton and Finsbury Park. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button that you see at the bottom of your screen just here, and make sure to check out my other videos on my channel. I'm sure you'll find them entertaining. Thanks for watching. Peace!